It's all heading in the right direction for the Charleston Battery now. They've always had the support, but they're out of the playoffs. No chance to defend their 2003 title. Dante Washington, the Virginia Beach Mariners still have a goal of making the playoffs. They need a win against the Battery to continue their charge. Next. Indeed, this week, the USL at Fox Sports World. Hey, we've made it ashore for our Friday night offer at the USL at Fox Sports World. It is Virginia Beach, Virginia, the place tonight for the Virginia Beach Sportsplex in Virginia Beach, Virginia. A-League action between the Charleston Battery and the Virginia Beach Mariners. Hello, I'm Dave Johnson, and welcome to the USL on Fox Sports World. We're in the A-League. The days are dwindling down to a precious few, especially for the Virginia Beach Mariners. We take a look at the standings in the A-League. You'll see what I'm talking about. Indeed, the Mariners right now 9 points out of a playoff spot with only 3 games remaining on the season. The Impact secure in first place, at least for now. Now, in the Western Conference, take a look at the situation. The Portland Timbers on top, trying to finish the regular season title in front of the Vancouver Whitecaps and Seattle Sounders on Minnesota Thunder. My broadcast partner tonight, of course, is Steve Bell. Typically, this late in the season, we're focusing on the defending champs. The Battery out of the playoffs, looking forward to the U.S. Open Cup, but Virginia Beach very much clinging to playoff hope.
Yeah, big surprise. Who would have thought the defending champs, Charleston Battery, would have been eliminated this early from the season? It's Virginia Beach that has a shot at the postseason, and this is basically a playoff game. They need to win to have any chance of making it to the postseason. Both coaches realize the impact of this game tonight.
Yeah, but obviously we're not in the playoffs, but we've got an obligation to the league, obligation to the rest of the teams that are going for the playoffs, and we're going to be trying our best to make sure that we win every game that we come into.
Well, I think the players have to prepare themselves individually for an important game, but I think for me as a coach, it's really the same preparation. We need to play our game and execute the best we can execute, and especially take care of the ball in midfield and control midfield, and that helps us a lot.
These two teams split the series so far, 1 win apiece, 9 goals in those games. Should be a lot of goals tonight, hopefully.
All right, great competitors in the A-League. Virginia Beach, again, still having some playoff hope. We're coming back. Charleston Battery, Virginia Beach Mariners in Virginia Beach. Our ship has come in for soccer on this Friday night, the USL at Fox Sports World in this Navy town, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Take a look at the Charleston Battery lineup. Nigel Henry, Steve Klein, Ricky Titus at the back. Jason Cutney will be out on the flank. Ted Chronopoulos, Kevin Jackson, member of the A-League Team of the Week, part of the Battery lineup. Now Steve Klein, an important figure in this Battery team.
Yeah, last season's A-League champion MVP, and he's anchoring a defense that's going to be peppered early in this game.
Look at the subs. Chris Doyle will be the backup goalkeeper tonight. He's been seeing some action in a starting role for the Battery. For the Virginia Beach Mariners, a back four of Knott, Kerms, Dambusky, and Hutchison. Steve Shack starting. Jeff Billick is out. Accumulation of cards. Washington and Garcia up top. Really have to look out for this guy.
Yeah, current A-League Player of the Week, Dante Washington. He has scored more goals this season than the entire starting lineup of the Charleston Battery.
And look at the bench for the Virginia Beach Mariners tonight. If Sean McDonald has to make any changes, Sean Wheaton is the backup keeper. Ben Jones is the man in the middle tonight, in the middle of Dante Washington and Carlos Garcia right now. Again, the Mariners, let me clarify, 6 points out of a playoff spot. They would love to get the final 9 points from their 3 remaining matches, including tonight's match with the Charleston Battery. Again, the Battery, the defending champs, out of the playoffs, but looking forward to a cup semifinal with the Chicago Fire. This portion of the match brought to you by USLsoccer.com, and teams splitting the first 2 matches. The Battery way back in May won the first meeting 4-3 when they thought they might be on their way to a title defense, but it didn't go well for them in the league play this year.
Right, if you look at the schedule, this game is a regular season game, but for all intents and purposes, this is a playoff game for Virginia Beach. They need the win. Huge crowd on hand, and really a win keeps them alive.
Cutney getting to the Simmons, but Dambusky is there. It'll be a corner kick, so right away Virginia Beach's defense is tested as Steve Dambusky has to sort things out. We'll get an early corner here for the Battery.
All season long, Charleston has had problems scoring and getting that finish, and they're actually going with almost a 3-forward format to push forward. Early chance here.
It'll be Ted Chronopoulos to take the corner. Ricky Titus got a header on it, and it's Nilsson to knock it away. Valencia keeps it in. The cross is deflected, and Nilsson this time will scoop it up, but Ricky Titus from his defensive position forward got ahead on that.
Yeah, they'll bring that big forward Titus from the back on those set pieces. He had great movement off the ball in that corner to sneak inside the 6, redirect the header, and a big save early going from Nelson.
Titus, Canadians, also had a very successful in-double career. Mark Jonas in the center of the midfield, knocking it back. And Bambuski, a long ball. And perhaps a bit too long. But a great opportunity here for the Battery.
Yeah, the outswinger coming in and diving, cutting through the defense right there. Just a beautiful movement off the ball. Got the header directed. As a goalkeeper, you don't want to be tested that early, but Nelson up to the challenge. Nice save to keep that one out of the net.
And Nilsson been up to the challenge a lot this year. 4 shutouts, but again, this Eastern Conference has just been so competitive. The Mariners, a lot of talent, but they find themselves, again, 6 points out of a playoff spot. They have 3 matches remaining. 2 with Charleston. They'll play Charleston in Charleston on Sunday. Amici Amani Dove. Going for Russell Hutchison. Hutchison with the ball. Challenged by Justin Evans. Plays away. He's facing back to Michael Kerms. Just underway tonight from Virginia Beach. Mariners had been hot until midweek loss to Toronto, Stephen. Boy, very deflating for this team.
Heartbreaking loss when you consider how much momentum they had in August. Really just put it together towards the end of the season, trying to make that push to make the postseason, and then a double overtime loss to Toronto in a game that, you know, you talked to Sean McDonald, a game they thought they could win. They had some opportunities there in overtime, missed the chances, and they really needed those 3 points. It just puts their backs against the wall in this game.
And that was just on Wednesday, so this could be a tired Virginia Beach team. As Charleston again in the red and black. Kevin Jackson. Cutney now, Jason Cutney. Finger is marking. Cutney got a step. Makes the cross. The header across the face of the goal. Ted Chronopoulos at the 6, and now Titus. Challenged by Mark Jonas as those 2 bump.
Great change of speed there by Jason Cutney, the rookie from Duquesne University there, blowing by Finger to get that cross in.
It's a good ball. Washington for Garcia. Garcia getting on to it. Oh! You can see the vision of Dante Washington trying to set up Carlos Garcia. Nigel Henry was in the middle marking. And Garcia had a lot of goal to look at.
Just mentioned you need to finish the chances. What a beautiful opportunity here for Garcia. Textbook counterattacking soccer there, and a huge opportunity to get the first goal of this game, and just pushed it wide. He's got to keep that one on target.
Dusty Hudak, the keeper for the Battery. So both teams having chances here in the opening 5 minutes. So Steve Klein also pressuring there and probably forcing Garcia to get that shot off. And now Washington again trying to link up. This is Steve Klein. And Ben Jones says the other way, it's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a wide open game when you consider Charleston has struggled to score goals. They're going to start pushing players forward, trying to create some opportunities. Virginia Beach, they're the 2nd leading scoring team in the league. As Chris Ramsey looks on, he wants some more scoring opportunities. He's pushing guys forward and wants to score some goals. As I mentioned, in the 2 games these teams have played, 9 goals were scored, and I have a feeling we're going to see a lot tonight.
I'll look forward to that. And you mentioned they scored 5 against Rochester last week, a 5-1 win for Chris Ramsey's team. And leak on the far side, Nigel Henry getting tied up, pardon the pun, by Kevin Knott. The throw in for Chronopoulos. Chronopoulos getting a step on Finger, making the cross, and that'll go off the crossbar. And a goal kick coming up.
Charleston finding a lot of room on that right side of the field, though. The corner came from that side, 2 quick crosses inside, and finding some room as Sean McDonald looks on. That's going to be something he's going to try to put a stop to early on. Again, another nice cross, this time lofted to the back post. No one home there, but they're getting some looks early on.
Well, it's been Chronopoulos basically with the corner kicks and also those crosses. As we look at Matt Nilsson to kick it away for the Virginia Beach Mariners. Good atmosphere on this Friday night. Big crowd on hand. Martinez trying to get onto it for the Battery. Just had his first goal in a Battery uniform. Michael Kerms Play on. Valencia. Greg Simmons trying to get onto it. Simmons makes the cross. Martinez was running for the Battery, but the Mariners and the white jerseys sorted out.
That was a good early cross by Simmons. Had his head up there, didn't force anything, but put that almost exactly where it needed to be.
Amici Amani Dub now for the Mariners. In the center of the park. Well read, though, by Cutney, broken up, but instead now. Jacob Finger. Squirts it to Dante Washington. Steve Klein was marking for the Battery.
Steve Klein, the utility player for Charleston. He has played all over this season. In the middle of the field, outside midfield. Now he's playing center back position, anchoring the defense. In Mark Watson's absence with the Canadian national team duties, and really Steve Klein, a huge factor for this team.
Dan Buskey. Titus the header. Justin Evans trying to keep it in. Hutchison steps up. Won by Valencia. Kevin Jackson now. Well read by Jacob Finger. He'll play it back to his keeper, Matt Nilsson. 7 minutes in. No score here in Virginia Beach. Good night for soccer.
Charleston, again, one of the reasons maybe they're in this position of being eliminated, have not been one of the best road teams. 2 wins, 8 losses, and 3 ties. Last year on their championship run, they were a team that was solid at home, but they won a lot of the games on the road. And you brought up that Eastern Conference, how strong the Eastern Conference is this year. Montreal, Richmond, Syracuse, Rochester. Yeah, Rochester and Atlanta fighting for positions, and it's going to go down to the wire here. And again, a huge game, but I think the point is really you have to do well in those away games, and Charleston maybe lost too many of those games early going. Talked to Chris Ramsey before the game. 1-goal games, Charleston had 1 win and 9 losses. And
well, you know, and he was talking about early July that they just weren't winning the close ones, and that really will be the story perhaps of the Mariners season if they don't make the playoffs. Well, this is a great soccer-specific facility here in Virginia Beach, the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Just a tremendous crowd, the kind of atmosphere you want for this important game for the home team.
They packed them in. They're still coming in now, and it is just a great field, great facility, and a very knowledgeable crowd as well. They appreciate the good soccer.
Simmons a header. Now Amici Amani Dove for Virginia Beach. Loops it upfield. Henry will just head it back to his keeper, Dusty Hudak. That's what's made this A-League Eastern Conference so exciting, though, when your defending champion is really struggling at the bottom. It shows the parity. Atlanta, a couple of tough losses. Matt Nilsson, no trouble, too. Virginia Beach in head-to-head action. So if you were handicapping the playoffs in mid-July, you thought you might have had it all figured out. And Syracuse making the surge, Virginia Beach.
Really, with only one and a half weeks to go in the regular season, anybody can win the A-League championship this year. That's how close it is, not only in the Eastern and the Western as well. So it should be exciting playoffs against teams still trying to find a way to get in.
Virginia Beach trying to open their account. They'll get a corner kick here. Carlos Garcia to take the corner. Hutchison at the back post was going for it, but Steve Klein was there. The Battery defender instead. It'll be a throw-in coming up.
Garcia trying to hit that back post. He's got 7 assists on the season and was looking for the backside there. Charleston read it well and cleared it out. Mike Kerms, though, with a very long throw, and sometimes he does the flip throw, and we'll see if he breaks that out now.
Could be another corner kick, right? Crowd loves it. Dusty Hudak probably not too fond of it, but he was able to grab it.
He said a knowledgeable crowd, and now they got a little more knowledge. The flip throw-in. Mike Kerms made that popular in Rochester for a couple years, and
don't try it at home. Inside.
I see that as a Olympic sport in 4 years.
Well, be careful. You never know with the way they had Olympic sports. Amici Amani Dove for Dante Washington. He is so hard to get off the ball. Kevin Jackson tried to do just that. Justin Evans now will try to clean things up for Charleston. They head to Martinez. Jesus Martinez flag is up. And it'll be a free kick coming up for Virginia Beach. 10 minutes in, almost 11 minutes in.
Real close play there. Greg Simmons was about 6 yards offside, but he didn't make a run for the ball. but he was in the offside position. Martinez came from an onside position, ran onto that, but the flag went up right away on Simmons. I think it was a good call because Simmons was so far offside, he was gaining an advantage on the defenders.
That certainly explains why Martinez was arguing, but as you said, the way it looked here, it was a good call by the referee's assistant. Steve Shack. Jonas. Wide to Hutchison. Titus knocks it away. Valencia spanks it upfield. Dambuski now at the back for Virginia Beach after the header by Chronopoulos. Shack under immediate pressure. Wisely puts it back to Kerms. Pass cut away from him. This is Valencia. Justin Heavens. Martinez. Titus upfield. Valencia, good ball movement by the Battery.
It's not the possession of a team that has only won 4 games in the regular season. I mean, good stuff there from Charleston. They lost at the end.
Shack to Dante Washington. Battery with numbers back. This is Nigel Henry marking Washington. Garcia. Garcia! Garcia! The flag goes up. The flag goes up. It's in the net, but the flag was up.
What a beautiful individual effort by Garcia. Beat 3 or 4 defenders there, but couldn't get enough on it to get it on goal. Had he shot it, it went in. That would have been a goal, but the pass is the reason the flag comes up. The offside's a good call. Watch Garcia weave through 2 or 3 defenders here with the cutback. Keeper's out, comes in, nicks it by, but definitely an offside as Amani Dove. Actually, in front of everybody. He was in front of the goalie as well.
But Garcia almost did it himself. Kevin Knott now as Virginia Beach storming forward. And that gets away from him, be a goal kick coming up, but just silky stuff from Garcia.
Dustin, you were pretty happy with that. Anytime you get beat, you see the ball rolling behind you. You don't often see the flag come up for an offside, and Garcia realizes maybe just a little more power on that.
I counted immediately 6 arms pointing over at the referee's assistant, and they were all wearing Battery shirts. Kevin Jackson, pressured by Jacob Finger. The throw-in coming up.
Last possession, really the epitome of Charleston's season. 10 to 12 passes in a row, great possession, building up, pretty soccer, but they lose possession.